Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's exciting webinar, Accelerating Digital Transformation with Low-Code and No-Code Platforms. Okay, we're actually very excited to have you here with us. My name is Sherif Arafa, okay, and I am the content team lead at Intalio. And today I have the honor of being the presenter of this webinar. Whether you're joining from across the globe or from just around the corner, we are actually going to deep dive into the world of digital transformation, okay? And how low code and no code solutions are revolutionizing the way businesses either grow, scale, and innovate. Today, we have an adventure of how we can help your organization streamline operations and make digital transformation not only achievable but also practical without the complexity that usually comes with it. So in other words, we're going to tackle how these solutions can accelerate your digital transformation, which is basically the title of this webinar, okay? And how they can help your teams build powerful applications, okay? And it is to be noted, of course, at the same time, to have the flexibility and the agility that you need to stay competitive, of course, in today's world. Moving on. Okay, about Intalio. Intalio is a global software vendor in enterprise content management, okay, and content services platform. So basically ECM and CSP, with actually over 30 years of experience. We've been recognized for innovation. We've been named a visionary in the 2021 Gartner Magic Quadrant. We were also featured in the 2023 Gartner Voice of the Customer. Omdia Universe ranked us as a leader. And finally, we scored 936 out of 1,000 in the Cyber Vadis Index. Today's journey, we will, first of all, this is the journey that we will be following, okay? So we learned about Intalio, who are we? And then it will be time for a main comparison between low-code platforms and no-code ones. And then it will be time for use cases for each of them, okay? And then it's gonna get a little bit interesting in perfect for who. So low code is perfect for who, and no code is perfect for who, okay? And then it will be time for the most important section, and that is the benefits. I guess this is what everybody is looking forward to, okay? And finally, it will be time for Intalio's low code and no code. Okay, so the main comparison between low-code platforms and no-code ones, okay? So low-code platforms, of course, before starting the comparison, you know that digital transformation is no longer a nice to have, but in fact, it has become a necessity, okay? But as many organizations know, this can be daunting, okay? So this is where low code and no code come into play, okay? So these tools are changing the game, okay? They are allowing businesses to improve their workflows, to innovate, okay? And maybe to fully leverage their technology resources, okay? So speaking of that, when it comes to the comparison between low code and no code, low code is more about pre-built components, okay? So the platforms include a library of pre-designed components, okay? Why? To speed up the development process, okay? While at the same time allowing developers to add custom features. Makes sense? And actually, what is very, very, very important here is the code customization. Okay, so it enables users to write and tweak code. O- Okay, so offering the flexibility to create complex and tailored applications. Okay, on the other hand, in terms of the no code, it's more about drag and drop interfaces. This is where it becomes very interesting. Okay, so they provide intuitive visual builders, okay, where users can create applications by simply dragging and dropping elements. Okay, so no coding required. Okay, so of course this approach depends on a simplicity first approach. Okay, so it's focused on the ease of use. Okay, enabling even non-technical users to create applications for themselves independently. When it comes to the use cases for low code and no code, low code would be more suitable for projects that require advanced functionality. Okay, so building apps with complex features. Okay, features that are beyond basic needs. Okay, and a very, very important factor in, or a use case, of course, for the low code is the integrations part. Okay, in today's world, we have lots of systems, lots of applications, lots of tools. So low code will give this ability to connect seamlessly, okay, to other systems, other tools, other applications. Okay. And finally, in the low code, it's one of the use cases is the enterprise level scalability, which is about handling growth, okay, and large scale usage, and how to do this in an efficient way. On the other hand, the no code is more suitable for straightforward solutions. Okay, so like for example, workflow automation, uh, things that minimize or simplify repetitive tasks. Okay, why? To make work a lot easier. Okay, it's also important for the internal tools. So tools that are maybe used by a company internally or within a team, a specific team. Okay. The third one is customer facing applications. Okay. So applications with less functionality, or let's say with less complexity. Okay. So simple ones designed for users and customers to interact with easily. In terms of the perfect for who, and this is where it gets interesting. This is personally my favorite slide in this whole presentation. The low code is best for, what can we say, for developers, for semi-technical users. Okay, like for example, a software engineer, an application developer, or maybe a solution architect. So basically, users that want to accelerate, remember the title of this webinar, acceleration, users that actually want to accelerate their work without compromising on the customization aspect. Makes sense? And on the other hand, the no code is suitable for business teams. Okay, like for example, a business analyst, a marketing professional, an HR manager. Okay, usually these teams have specific business scenarios that they know very well because they are living it every single day in their day-to-day tasks and activities. So they understand the scenario that they want to create very well. So they want to create it themselves. They don't want to explain it to a developer and then the developer starts coding and then the developer checks with them, is this what you were looking for? They know the solution that they want very well. They know the business scenario. They know the business need. So they want to create it themselves. So The no code is more suitable for them so that they can create it right away. Okay, so I guess it's time now for a poll. Okay, I will be sharing with you a poll. So I guess you can see a poll right now in the chat section. Okay, so how familiar is your organization with low code and no code platforms? So an option for them is you're already leveraging them, okay, or maybe you're exploring but not fully implemented, or you're just starting to learn about them maybe in this webinar, and finally you haven't even considered them yet. So yeah, tell us your thoughts in the poll. I guess most of the people here are just starting to learn. Yeah, it's a very interesting topic, very trending these days. So yeah, perfect. So moving on, we have actually a 67% just starting to learn. So this is quite interesting. Okay, when it comes to the benefits, okay, we have, I think this is one of the most important sections in this presentation because basically this summarizes uh, like the importance of such platforms. So both low code and no code have four major benefits that are common between both. Okay. So number one is the accelerated development. Okay. This benefit speeds up the creation of applications. Okay. How? With reduced manual coding. Okay. In case of the low code. And with drag and drop simplicity. Remember the drag and drop we talked about? Okay. The simplicity of it in case of the no code. Another benefit, which is the second benefit, is the cost savings. This is also common between both low code and no code. So this benefit lowers the expenses. Okay. And you might ask how? Basically by reducing developer hours. Okay. And enabling faster builds. The third benefit that we want to talk about is the customization. Okay. So the customization benefit offers the flexibility that people are looking for. Okay. Of course, as we know, the low code offers more, or let's say supports more tailored solutions. However, with additional coding, okay. On the other hand, the no code is more about allowing simple tweaks. Simple tweaks. Okay. The fourth one that is common between both of them is the scalability part. Okay, and it gets interesting here. Both low code and no code can grow and can adapt as your business grows. Okay, low code handles the more complex, the larger applications that require robust scalability. Okay. On the other hand, the no code is more suitable for smaller projects, okay, that want to scale in an incremental way. Incremental way. So, in other words, evolving as your business grows, as your business expands, and so on. Okay. There are two extra benefits in case of the no code, and these are the ease of use and the empowering non-tech teams. The ease of use, I think this is what people actually love the most. Okay, so the no-code platforms are designed in a way that makes them incredibly user-friendly. Remember the drag and drop features that we talked about? Building an application is as simple as piecing together a puzzle. There is no need to write a single line of code. This makes it accessible for anyone without any technical background or expertise. And the last one that is also somehow exclusive to the no code is the empowering the non-tech teams. The no code is able to unlock the potential of the non-technical teams, like the business teams we talked about. Okay, for example, business analysts, marketing departments, HR departments, and so on. Remember, we talked about a very specific scenario here where these employees sometimes know specific scenarios, specific bottlenecks that they face every single day in their work. Okay, so they want to create an application that automates these tasks. Okay, they understand it very well because they're doing it daily. Okay, so they want to create a specific application that does it for them, and this way they can focus more on the strategic activities. Okay, they can be more productive and so on. Okay, so this is where the no code steps in. Now it's time for Intalio's DMS, document management system. As you all know, one of the main products of Intalio is the document management system. Of course, the DMS has low code and no code features. For example, content type creation. As an example for that, let's say you have a specific type of content, like, for example, contracts. Okay, you can create a specific content type for it. Okay, so that when an employee, okay, wants to upload a new contract to the system asks him to input specific attributes, specific fields that he must fill in order to highlight these fields, basically highlight the details of this document, this contract. Okay, why? This makes it easily searchable in the future. So if another employee is searching for this contract, he can easily search for it thanks to this content type that you created. Another important feature for the DMS in terms of the low code and no code, of course, is the filing plan. So following up on the scenario we said, okay, you would want to have a certain path for this contract, okay? And maybe, so basically where it gets stored. And maybe you would want to have a specific naming convention for it, okay? So maybe the date of the contract, you want it to be part of the naming. You can actually do this thanks to Intalio's low code, no code DMS. And number 3 is adding a pattern. Okay, let's say this with an interesting example. You have a certain new employee, and this new employee, of course, has specific files, like, for example, his CV, his degree certificate, and so on. So in order to upload these files to the system, you would need to create subfolders for these files. This is where it gets challenging. Okay, so imagine for one employee, for instance, just for instance, you have 5 files. You need to create 5 subfolders. Okay, imagine having 1,000 employees. Very, very long, hectic process. Okay, so by adding a pattern, okay, you can automatically, for every new employee, create the 5 subfolders that we were talking about. Okay, so this reduces the time you need. Okay, it allows you to focus on other strategic stuff. So this add pattern feature is, of course, a very, very important one in the low code, no code DMS. So I guess it's time for poll number 2, and that is, okay, so which do you consider is the most important benefit of low code and no code platforms? Remember, we talked about 4 major common ones between the 2 scenarios: the accelerated development, the cost savings, customization, or the scalability. So just choose the one you think is the most important. I think we have 67% for the accelerated development. Yes, it's quite interesting because, as we said, it speeds up the creation with two scenarios: either reduced manual coding in case of the low code, or the drag and drop simplicity that we mentioned in case of the no code. Okay, so yeah, this was the answer that most of you chose. Okay, CTS, Intalio's CTS, Correspondence Tracking System. Another main product of Intalio, one of the most important ones, is the CTS. Of course, the CTS offers low code and no code features, just like the DMS does. So, for example, create categories. Uh, the correspondence, okay, you might have a path for an incoming correspondence or an outgoing one, or maybe an internal correspondence. But let's say, according to your business need, you found that you need another new type of category. You can do that according to your business need using low code and no code features. You can also create a custom attribute. Okay. So let's say an employee wants to input, let's say you received a new correspondence and the employee wants to upload it to the system, input it into the system. He has to fill specific custom attributes that you created in order to make it, again, easily searched for, highlight specific details about it, and so on. This makes things faster, a lot faster. It saves a lot of time for the employees, makes them more productive, focus more, as we said, on this strategic stuff. Or maybe you can create a node like the inbox, or maybe you can create an action according to your business need, as we mentioned, or maybe you can create a lookup. If you have any questions, please tell me in the chat section. It would be lovely. Okay, so one of the questions usually asked is, tell us briefly or a brief about Intalio's DMS. Okay, Intalio's DMS, document management system, is a product that allows organizations to achieve digital transformation, okay? To transform from paper-based documents into digital ones, okay? So you get to organize your documents using cabinets, using folders, subfolders, okay? And this makes searching for them easier, okay? We talked about speeding up repetitive tasks, making employees more productive, to focus on more strategic stuff, and so on. Another question is, what makes the CTS a must-have product? Okay, we talked about the CTS, as you remember. So basically, if you have a correspondence, if you receive a correspondence and you want to introduce it to the CTS system, you can do this, and then maybe you can follow a path. So after uploading the correspondence, maybe you can send it, transfer it, okay, to someone or a department. A specific action is needed to be taken on this correspondence. So you're sending it to someone, you're transferring it to a department, and so on. Okay. So this person or this department can take a specific action on it. Okay. And then the flow continues as you go on this correspondence. The journey, let's say the journey of the correspondence continues from the start, from the moment you uploaded it on the system, to the moment it gets maybe finally approved, okay, and completed. Okay. The CTS gives you this value. Okay. So any questions? Okay. I guess that wraps up our webinar, accelerating digital transformation with low code and no code platforms. Thank you all for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure sharing these insights with you. For those of you who have any questions that might pop up later, or if any of you, definitely contact us on our website, okay? Or if you're interested in one of the products we talked about, okay, you can definitely request a demo, okay? we're here to help you on your journey towards digital transformation.